Welcome to Worthington Model Railway. For some time now, people have been asking me, do you have a YouTube channel? Well, the answer is yes, I now do. I haven't for a while. My name's Steve Worthington. This is my model railway layout. It's sort of set somewhere north of Watford Gap in maybe the mid-50s into mid-60s, which allows me to run all sorts of stuff in terms of rolling stock. It's the fourth time that I've tried to produce a landscape layout like this. This is definitely the biggest to date. How long have I been doing this? Started when I was about 6, so we're in 50 odd years. How long have I been doing this type of thing? I think I started my first one of these types of layouts somewhere in the late 90s. So I've got a little bit of experience. This one is both DC and DCC. I decided that it was time for me to get involved in DCC, and so I've been doing a lot with that as well. This first of my videos is really going to be an introduction. I'll just do a walk round of some of the things that are there, some of the things that aren't there, talk a little bit about some plans, and give you a brief introduction to the layout, and then we'll start to try to put some regular videos up. Some will be how-tos, some will be layout progress, some will be things that I'm doing that I might find interesting and think you might find interesting. So stay tuned. Thanks. Bye. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe, because I got to start to get some subscribers so we can get this channel rolling. Thanks. Bye. So this is my loft. Okay. Just take a couple of pictures so people can get an impression of where it is. So the shed is 40 by 80. The loft is 10 by 38, which is where the model railway lives. This is how we get up there. Got a spiral staircase, and the staircase takes us up into the middle. Well, not the middle. It takes us up into one end of the layout. When we get to the top of the stairs, first thing we see is the larger display case, and then we have a whole series of display cases that go all the way along the wall. So here is my Hornby Dapol collection in these two cases. This is all DC stuff, still has yet to be changed. Pretty much most of it runs, comes down occasionally. And I have these shelves here where I keep out some coaches so I can use them as I need to, as I do things. Interesting item up here. There's a Flying Scotsman from probably what, the 70s, still in its original packaging. Can't bring myself to open it up. And then we have some more display cases. Here's some vehicles, and there's some tank engines. And when we get right round to the end here, this is where I have all the private owner wagons. So we have the private owner wagons all up there. Let's start at one end, and here we have landscaped area. We've got a factory in the back here, maybe a warehouse, I'm not quite sure. We have a little caravan park there with a footbridge that brings us over to an area that is going to be more sort of camping. I've got a couple of campers here, but we need to get some more camping things going on there. And then as you go down, you can clamber down the rocks, and we do have some Boy Scouts camping over here. So if we go the other way, we hit the farmhouse, which is stranded in the middle of the railway tracks here. Some details here. We get some pigs. I am going to add some junk into those garage bays there. I have it sort of sitting on the bench getting ready to be put in there. And so here we have the chicken coop and people doing a little bit of work. We have my one solitary goat, and there's the burnt out, I think it's a house rather than a barn, but maybe it's a barn. And then over in the back here is one of the pubs, and I think Inspector Morse is pulling into the pub there. So let me just zoom in a little bit and we can look at some of the detail on the pub. Well, if I could actually work this damn camera. Let's see, we've got some details on the sides there, and a few people in the parking lot, and another Boy Scout. As I said, Inspector Morse is coming in. I've got some more stuff I want to put over there to add into some of that pub detail. Okay, I'm going to zoom back out again. And this is my plowing field. So you'll see here that I get a couple of Fowler plowing engines, and also we've got the plow and the caravan, and there's the other plowing engine. And again, we can zoom in a little on some of these detail. You see the guys sitting there. I think they're having lunch. Okay, zoom out a bit again, and see here we've got a little horse barn. This is a Townstreet barn, and then go back a little bit, we have a level crossing, and coming out this way the road with plenty of sheep. And I've got a few people on horses over here. I'm quite sure what she's doing, but she's certainly riding in a weird way. And plenty more sheep again as we come around here. And down here is the bus depot. So then we come up into the town, and the town is pretty much dominated by the station. So we can work our way along here with the station. And again, you know, we have some nice detail on the station here. A few people sitting around waiting to do stuff. There's a urinal there. And again, if we go look over in the town, we have some detail here. There's a war memorial there. There's the war memorial. A couple of old style taxi cabs there. And some passengers waiting for trains. And as we come back down, we'll see some more of the town here. And we have another pretty rough factory building back there. Okay, I'm not quite sure who landed on the station, but somebody might know. Okay. So in this area here, which is sort of, you can see in front of the station, we have the row of terraced houses and the shop. And as we go down past the row of terraced houses, you'll see the bus depot at the end there. And here we have a little park with swings and a roundabout and some people just sort of checking things out. There is quite a bit of detail going on in the backyards. You have people in some of them, and most of them will have a dustbin in, and we have little patches of grass in places and some plants kicking around back here. We have some plants down there. There's a dustbin and some more plants. Let's just zoom in so you can get a better idea of some of the detailing that's going on back there. Didn't do the best job. There we go. With some plants and other things going on in the backyards. And even if we come down here, we can see some of the detail and somebody coming down the alleyway. Come out of the station, come down here, and we have a signal box and some point work back there, and there we have a showman's engine and caravan on the road back there. Come down here and we have some pigs, and more pigs, some stone walls along here, and another farmhouse that is, or farm cottage that is sort of stranded, but that's what's going on there. And then we have our aliens that landed, and they're stealing cows. Interestingly, the other cows are all watching, but if we get down in here, you can actually see that there is a cow there that they're trying to pull up into the alien spaceship. Let me zoom in just a little bit. We can see the cow that they're trying to steal. This area back here is where the church used to be. I'm in the process of putting in a manor house. Need some more work to do there. And we have a folly which will go with the manor house. That's the cricket pavilion for the cricket ground that will be going in this area here, but we're quite a ways off from doing that right now. Now this whole area up here is the extension that I built maybe about 6 weeks ago. The track laid, haven't really done too much in terms of the landscaping on this side. I am waiting for some three-way points to come in, and the rest of that track will get laid back there, and we will have a 6-lane fiddle yard back in this area here. And as you see, we've also got some extra track down here, so we've got a 2-loop back there so we can keep some trains down there for the lower section. And as you see, we'll get to the point of getting all that extra track laid once I get the point work in place. I really don't want to lay track until I have the points actually there, so I can get it all laid and worked properly. And you'll see just in this area here, I'm putting another single middle platform halt station in place. Still very much work in progress on that one. Been doing quite a lot of work on it. It's all starting to come together. I moved the church down here. I put another building in here which I'm considering to be the rectory. I added in the viaduct in the back there. Still need to get back scenes and some of the back area done here, and the river is also in place here. And as you can see, the castle sits on the river bend and ties in with the river. Moats, or what's left of a moat around the castle, on that side it goes into the river. There's some detail in the castle. Put some hedges and some flowers and a couple of bushes and shrubs. A nice blower Bentley in there. Notice I have a Union Jack flying above the castle. And so if we sort of come out from the castle, we can see how the castle sits in here and how it sits against the edge of the river. And on this side of the moat, we have a few swans and a small car park, just enough for a couple of cars, so people visiting the castle can park their cars and walk up this gravel path to get to the entrance to the castle. And all the way along here, still have to do some work along here. I'm going to put some trees in here. If we look up top, let's see, we got some sheep and some dry stone wall. That needs a little bit more work there. And then we come down and we keep going down this river, and the river disappears through and under back into the rocky area here. And then continuing down, we've got some workers' cottages, and need to do some detailing on the gardens here. Maybe put some flowers and things in front of them. This area at the top here, these rocks, I've got some landscaping supplies that were supposed to come in today but haven't arrived yet, and that will allow me to finish off that area. And I think we might be going to put some allotments in down here. Haven't quite worked that out yet, but that's what my thinking is. And then the road will go off over here too, and there'll be another bridge there, and the road will disappear underneath the raised railway. Next part we're going to come to is the engine shed. So here we have a double engine shed. Needs a little more work, and when I pulled it out of storage there was a little bit of damage on this, so I need to fix that. I'll get that done at some point. We have a water tower here, and then we have a coaling stage, and we'll look at that a bit more in a second. So here's the coaling stage, and there actually is some detail in that coaling stage, and I'll put the camera around on the other side so we can actually see that detail. But as you can see here, there is a ramp. The ramp would allow the coal trucks to go up into the coaling stage, and then the coal would get dumped into the tender of the locomotive from that right hand side there, and we'll look at that side. Here you can see this side of the coaling stage and the detail inside there, as that stuff would come out of the coaling stage and get dumped right there. Okay, and you see there's some steps there to get up into the coaling stage for the workers. Obviously this whole area at the back here needs finishing. We'll get that done sooner than later. Now we've got the area up there all sort of prepared. We can get that road bridge and stuff in, and we'll get this part finished, and it will just continue on as the rest of this embankment is along here. And as you can see, this is a goods yard, and we got various different things going on here. Primarily a holding place for wagons and things of that nature. We have a crane there, we've got a lean-to shed, we've got some coaling staves, and we've got an old tin hut here, and there's a signal box for the workings in and around here, although quite a lot of these point work, it's all manual with the manual throws and the points. There's another one over there. And I just recently added this additional area of baseboard back here. Exactly what we're going to do with it, I'm not sure. I think I'm going to put some houses and cottages back there, but got to think that one through a little bit. Okay. And then as we come back here, we ended up where we started with the cows in the field here, and the campers back there, and the warehouse. So that's the layout to date, and all sorts of things yet to come. Some of it where I kind of know what I'm going to do, and some of it where I'm still trying to work out what I'm going to do. But as we all know, these things never are completely done, and just because an area has been finished once this particular way doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. Okay. Well, thanks for getting all the way through my first video, and hopefully you enjoyed looking at what I'm doing. A lot of it is a work in progress. There are a lot of things that need to be finished. Tends to be that case of you get things to a certain point and then get dragged into something else, and you need to come back and finish things. And because sometimes waiting for supplies and other things, being in the US, most of this stuff has to come from the UK, and sometimes it can take a little while for me to get things. But generally speaking, I'm happy with progress, and it's a fun layout to be working on. Thanks again. Have a great day. Bye.